Let's go somewhere else.
There's nowhere else we can go. We're in jail.
I'm not doing it right here.
I'm going to take it as a refusal if you don't walk over here. Turn around. Amber.
Oh, God.
Don't grab me. Turn around.
It's crazy how the little girl had the gun. The little girl had the gun.
Hey, go that way. Please. Stay away from these windows. If they come out, we're going to push them that way because the way the door opens.
The episode kicks off with yet another eerie incident at a Texas marina, previously the scene of a mysterious death. The host, Jesse Weber, sets the stage, highlighting a possible link between the two unsettling events. Stay with us as the plot thickens.
A small city in Texas is in the headlines after another woman found dead at a local marina. We bring on two investigators to talk about this new case. Is this just a coincidence, or is there a connection? Welcome to Sidebar. I'm Jesse Weber.
This story just took a darker turn, didn't it? We dive into the background of the first victim, Giselle Salazar Tapia, found hanging from a dock. Her death raised suspicions from the get-go. Her complex personal life, including details about her relationship with her boyfriend James Hart, is unpacked, pointing towards potential domestic turmoil and prior police visits. Hang tight, we're about to delve into the nitty-gritty forensic details.
Giselle Salazar Tapia was found dead hanging from the dock. The mother of four had been living with her boyfriend, James Hart, on a boat. According to police, Giselle's body was positioned, one arm was up in the air, so that would suggest that she died somewhere else. She was hung off the side of the dock, perhaps to try to make it look like a suicide.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more twisted, enter the forensic expert, Joseph Scott Morgan, who breaks down the condition of Giselle's body and the critical clues post-mortem lividity provides about her death. His insights hint that Giselle's body might have been moved after her death, stirring doubts about the initial suicide theory. Brace yourselves as we introduce another twist in the story.
We actually spoke with Joseph Scott Morgan, forensic death investigator.
If she was lying, let's just say she was lying on her stomach, her arm is extended. The other thing they're going to see is a presentation of postmortem lividity. The blood would have settled anteriorly like this, and you can't get rid of it, Jesse. That's the other thing they're going to see. If she is even partially submerged in the water, arm extended above her head, and you've got blood settling post-mortem, which happens, and again, that's a measurable event.
And just like that, the plot thickens. The narrative pivots to a second woman, Alita, discovered dead under similarly shady circumstances at the same marina. The police, unsettled by the eerie similarities, are on high alert about a potential connection between the cases, shedding light on the ongoing investigation and the dicey dynamics at the marina. Stay tuned. The investigation starts to heat up next.
Now, a second woman has been found dead at that same marina, and the League City Police Department said that investigators have not ruled out a possible connection between her death and Giselle's death. She was found almost 3 weeks after the discovery of Giselle. That's weird. Okay, so now I want to bring in two special guests, Lieutenant Eric Cox and Detective Keith Bell. Thank you so much for coming on.
Things are starting to connect, or are they? The second victim's circumstances suggest an overdose, with narcotics found nearby, yet nothing is certain. The ongoing autopsy and toxicology reports are eagerly awaited, which will hopefully illuminate the true cause of her untimely demise. Up next, we link the dots between these chilling cases.
I really just want to start right now with this latest development. What can you tell us about this second death?
Apparently, it appears to look like an overdose.
What gives you that indication at this point? Has the autopsy report come back, or is that still being evaluated?
Well, narcotics was found in the area around the deceased person, and that's the information that we have at this moment.
But the autopsy, it's still being conducted, right?
No, sir. That's going to take time. It's still being conducted.
Oh, I'm sorry. How long does that usually take?
It depends. It depends on what the ME looks at.
This connection is just too bizarre to overlook, folks. Police discuss the intriguing link between the two victims, noting that both tragedies occurred close by on boats owned by a person of interest. This revelation raises eyebrows and suspicions about this individual's possible involvement in both deaths. Don't go anywhere. We're about to peel back another layer of this marina mystery.
And who is this gentleman you're talking about that saw her in this position?
It was the boat owner, the other person of interest in Giselle's case.
So just to clarify, you're saying that the person of interest in Giselle's case and was the one who had called in or saw Alita in this position?
No, it was the other person. It was the other person of interest who we haven't named yet. It didn't involve the boyfriend of Giselle. It was the other person of interest in Giselle's case.
Just to clarify, there is one person of interest who may have a connection between both of these deaths. Interesting. He operates and owns a boat at this marina?
He has 2 slips at the marina. He's got 2 boats actually there next to each other that are moored next to each other at the marina.
The marina's backstory is as complex as it gets. The discussion shifts to the broader social environment of the marina, marked by drug use and frequent police interventions. This segment highlights the overarching challenges law enforcement faces with the transient, often troubled population inhabiting the area. You won't believe what we uncover next.
By the way, in this area of League City, is drug addiction a serious issue? What the community is like and what we should be knowing about this?
From the time that Giselle died, we've had, I want to say, over 20 plus calls there. We've had a call there every day. We have plenty of disturbances out there. We have plenty of narcotics users out there. The drug of choice seems to be methamphetamine. They've also used numerous drugs like GHB and fentanyl.
As we conclude this segment, things take yet another somber turn. The episode wraps with a broader conversation on safety and public concerns, urging community cooperation with the ongoing investigations. The hosts reflect on the unnerving reality of 2 similar deaths occurring so close together. The segment closes with a community call to action, emphasizing the importance of public assistance in solving these cases. Make sure to tune in for the next episode as we continue unraveling this gripping saga.
What can the community do, or anybody who's watching this program do? Because obviously we covered the death of Giselle. Now we are learning about the death of Alita. You mentioned there's a common connection there. What can the community do to help you guys?
If you have any information on Giselle's death, please give us a call. That'll greatly help us out in investigating her case.
League City Police Department Lieutenant Eric Cox, Detective Keith Bell, thank you both for coming on and wishing you both good luck.
All right, thank you for having us.
The tension is palpable in this scene. An officer tells the woman, Amber, to stop and not to drive away with her child in the car. He repeatedly calls out her name in an effort to get her attention and to prevent her from starting the car. Hang on, because things are about to ramp up even more from here.
No, you're not going anywhere. Not with her in the car. Then stop. Then stop, Amber. Amber, no, just stop. Turn the car off. Sarge's on his way over here. We're gonna fit Rickman. All right, come out here and talk.
The conflict heightens quickly. The situation intensifies as Amber resists getting out of the car. The officer is heard insisting that she needs to exit the vehicle, but Amber expresses her inability to do so, adding to the tension of the encounter. Strap in. What happens next takes it up a notch.
But don't do it.
Come on, for you.
I can't.
Come on, talk to us.
I can't get out of the car.
Come on.
No, I don't want to.
We're gonna talk back here. I don't know. Come back here and talk.
You won't believe what's next. The officer attempts to convince Amber to perform a sobriety test away from the roadside, stressing that refusal to comply will be taken as a refusal to perform the test. The officer tries to be polite, urging her to cooperate for her own benefit. Buckle up, because the stakes get even higher.
Okay, let's go somewhere else.
There's nowhere else we can go. We're in jail. Are you gonna do field sobriety?
Yes, I
Then
will.
let's walk field
I'm not
sobriety.
doing it right here.
I'm gonna take it as a refusal if you don't walk over here and do field sobriety. Walk over here. I've tried being nice. Amber.
Please don't make it. Just look out for a white truck. Wait. There's somebody pulling up. Justin.
I don't have a choice, Amber.
You do.
I don't.
This moment is key. A sobriety test begins with the officer checking Amber's eyes for signs of impairment. The officer explains the procedure and ensures that everything is being recorded on the body camera, emphasizing the transparency of the process. The tension continues to build in the next scene.
This whole thing's on camera.
All right.
Stand with your feet together, okay? I'm gonna check your eyes. Keep your hands down. Can you see the tip of the pen? Follow it with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? Don't move your head.
When he comes by, I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
Watch closely as the drama unfolds. Amber is instructed to perform the walking and turning part of the sobriety test. The officer provides detailed instructions, asking her to walk heel to toe and count her steps, which is critical for assessing her coordination and balance. The pressure mounts as we move to the next part.
Okay. All right, take 9 heel to toe steps.
How do you know I can't drive?
Refusal.
I'm not refusing.
You didn't finish the task.
But there's people. They're watching.
Next task I want you to do is the one-legged stand. You want to get your shoe back on?
The tension doesn't let up. During another part of the sobriety test, Amber struggles to follow the instructions for the one-legged stand. The situation grows more complicated as another person approaches, and Amber mistakenly identifies him, leading to further confusion and non-compliance. The drama is far from over. See what happens next.
Alright, feet together, hands down by your side. You remember what I told you to do? Feet together, hands down by your side.
I'm embarrassed, so I can't.
Turn around. Amber,
Oh, God.
don't grab me. Turn around.
Wait,
Turn around.
I'll do it.
Turn around.
I'll do it.
The situation hits a boiling point. The arrest becomes inevitable as Amber is formally taken into custody for DUI. She pleads not to be arrested in front of her child, highlighting her distress and concern for her daughter's emotional well-being. The emotional roller coaster doesn't stop here. Keep watching.
Please, please, look at me.
Go over here. Come on.
Don't.
Amber,
You're
come on.
putting on handcuffs?
Yes. Come on.
No, I'm not.
You got anything on you?
No. What are you arresting me for?
Have a seat. DUI. Have a seat. DUI and
I
leaving the
will
scene.
lose my kids.
DUI.
Please.
Have a
please.
seat.
Emotions continue to escalate. Amber makes a desperate plea to her mother over the phone, arranged by an officer, informing her of the arrest and asking her to come to pick up her daughter. This moment underscores the personal and familial impact of the arrest. The story takes an even more emotional turn next.
Who can I bring?
I cannot. I cannot. I know. No, ma'am. You can tell me. You can tell me who can come get her. What? We can talk. I just can't turn this off. I get in trouble for turning this off.
This exchange is heavy with emotion. A poignant conversation occurs as Amber speaks with an officer about the personal impact of the arrest on her family. The officer expresses sympathy but insists on the necessity of following procedure, reflecting the emotional complexity officers often face in such situations. As the night progresses, the intensity only grows.
Now, if you want to talk to the sheriff and the chief after this, okay. Yes, ma'am. This is, you know, this is nothing personal because I love you like a sister, and that makes it that much harder. I can't. No, ma'am, I cannot. You can talk to him when you get to the jail if you want to call him. Get her out of here. Leave those on the entire time.
As the night draws to a close, the drama reaches its peak. As Amber is processed, she becomes increasingly distressed, asking for a tissue and becoming agitated when told none is available. This final scene shows her emotional and physical state as she faces the reality of her arrest and its consequences. The culmination of this episode is as dramatic as it gets.
Once you get inside here, you'll be able to have it all. We don't have a tissue. We don't have a tissue. Once you come in there, you can wipe your nose on your sleeve. You don't have to yell and cuss at me like that. I ain't done nothing.
Please don't lock me in like that. Give me a minute.
And buckle up because you won't believe what you're about to see. After the shocking incident, body cam footage captures the chaotic aftermath where a 10-year-old girl shockingly shot and killed a Florida woman. Witnesses are heard describing the jarring event, highlighting the girl's young age and her managing the gun with just one hand. The scene is a whirlwind of disbelief and distress. But hang tight, the next part ramps it up even more.
Take a look at this newly released body camera video. 10-year-old girl shot and killed a Florida woman.
It's crazy how the little girl had the gun. The little girl had the gun. She pulled the trigger. Shot my baby in the face.
All this after the little girl's mother had been in a fight with the victim.
They arguing. The lady and her was arguing. The little girl came out and shot. Said she shouldn't be with my mama.
You thought that was wild? Check this out. At a Memorial Day barbecue in Orlando, Florida, an argument between Lacia Rogers and Lucretia Isaac quickly spirals out of control. Amidst the scuffle, Isaac hands her daughter a bag with a gun inside. The 10-year-old then tragically uses it on Rogers, who succumbs to her injuries. And guess what? The tension skyrockets from here.
So here's what happened. It was Memorial Day 2022 in Orlando, Florida. Witnesses told investigators that the victim, LaShawn Rogers, when she got into an argument apartment with Lucretia Isaac. The pair got physical, and eventually Isaac handed her 10-year-old daughter a bag with a gun inside. That's when the 10-year-old opened fire, hitting Rogers.
Hold on to your popcorn. Things are getting intense. When the cops show up at a bustling apartment complex, the body cam video captures them plotting how to approach the apartment where Isaac and her daughter are holed up. They repeatedly call for anyone inside to come out with hands raised. This high-stakes moment is shown from multiple angles, underlining the gravity of the situation. Brace yourself. The officers are about to make their move.
Body camera video shows Orlando officers on the scene. Officers approach the apartment where Isaac and her daughter are said to be hiding out.
Just when you think it can't get more intense, it does. Emergency responders hustle to secure and cordon off the shooting scene, directing locals and onlookers to steer clear of danger zones. The cops are busy taping off areas and rerouting foot traffic away from sensitive spots near the apartment. Amidst the building tension and growing crowd, they keep their cool. Stay tuned, because the situation is about to escalate even further.
First responders blocking off the chaotic scene, redirecting people away from the apartment.
Hey, go that way, please. Stay away from these windows. Hold up. Can you go around that way and around? This window right here is in play. Hey, don't walk this way. Apparently the suspect's inside that window right there. Can somebody get tape and tape this up so nobody comes this way?
Things are about to get even more heated. Body cam footage shows a nail-biting moment as officers encircle the apartment where Isaac and her daughter are barricaded. Discussing tactical positions and managing the apartment's exits and windows, they prepare for any movement from inside. As the officers gear up for a possible confrontation, the suspense is palpable. Don't go anywhere. The adrenaline is just starting to pump.
I just don't want you in anywhere near that window. Apparently there's a suspect in there, and I just don't want you guys anywhere near that. Just if they come out, we're gonna push them that way, because the way the door opens. Rodney will have the best view of everything, so I'll set up all the stuff over there. Just be mindful of crossfire if Rodney steps out. This door right here, possible suspect is inside. Like 11-year-old female? 10, 11 years old. Okay. Young female. There might be a mother inside from somebody that was just saying right there. I don't know.
The atmosphere outside is electric, and not in a good way. A large angry crowd gathers, loudly condemning Lucretia Isaac as the tensions boil over. Amidst the outcries for justice and heated exchanges, police work diligently to keep things under control. The community's raw emotions paint a vivid picture of the turmoil, and believe it or not, things are about to get even more intense.
As Isaac and her daughter stay inside the apartment, a crowd grows outside. Multiple women screaming, swearing, and threatening Isaac.
Oh, you going to jail? That stupid. What the wrong with you? You are ignorant.
Yeah, I should have walked that whole. I would have took that charge. You drunk that
As if the drama outside wasn't enough, here comes a crucial turn. Finally, both Lucretia Isaac and her daughter are apprehended and transported to the police station. Inside the squad car, Isaac is a torrent of emotions, fluctuating between anger and desperation, pleading to speak to her daughter. She's clearly rattled and worried about how they're being treated. But just wait until you see what happens next at the station.
Eventually, the girl and her mother are taken from the scene and driven to the police station. Isaac yelling from the backseat of a squad car and her wide range of emotions.
She had our attorney. Don't say my child. It's on camera. Okay, I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that before y'all even try to talk to her.
We have not said
anything. Okay, I know you ain't saying nothing.
As we step into the police station, the tension doesn't let up, it multiplies. Isaac finds out she's being detained, sparking a flurry of questions and a visible mix of confusion and fear. As she's interrogated, she repeatedly inquires about the charges against her, which are eventually revealed to include manslaughter and neglect. She's then led away for further processing. But hold on, the aftermath of these revelations brings even more drama.
Soon, Isaac is detained in a holding room.
Am I being arrested?
You're being detained right now. We've been over this.
Am I being arrested?
You're being detained.
What detained means?
Detained means you're not free to leave.
Look, definition, like that's not just...
Like I said, when the detectives get here, they'll answer all your questions. Do you need anything else? Do you need anything else? Okay.
Your rights either, right?
Sit down.
Make me sit down.
Okay.
Brace yourselves. We're diving into the deep end here. Introduction to the case. The segment kicks off with an eerie vibe as the narrator teases out a puzzling case with more questions than answers, shedding light on the chilling deeds of a Florida man slapped with a murder charge. The shroud of mystery thickens as investigators scratch their heads, unsure of who the victims even are, setting the stage for a real head-scratcher. Don't go anywhere. everywhere. The plot only thickens from here.
A Florida man is charged with murder, but investigators aren't even sure who the victim is.
So right now you're in the stage where you've got to build your case. Your puzzles are all over the board now. You got to try to pull them together.
But the questions in this case don't stop with the mystery remains found in the suspect's fire pit.
Can you believe how quickly a normal Wednesday spiraled? The timeline begins. It was a dark and somewhat stormy night on Wednesday, June 12th, in Hudson, Florida. The last time anyone saw the family of four was just past the witching hour. We've got Rain Manini, 26, Philip Zalot, 2, 25, and their kiddos, Karma, 6, and Philip III, 5, all pinned as the central characters in this unfolding drama, marking the eerie start of our tale. Buckle up, as we're just revving up the engines on this investigative ride.
To understand where the case is headed, we have to start at the beginning. In Hudson, Florida, not far from Tampa, it was just after midnight that this family of four was last seen. 26-year-old Rain Mancini, 25-year-old Philip Zilliot II, 6-year-old Karma Zilliot, and 5-year-old Philip Zilliot III. I reached out to him for this story for some insight into the investigation. We know that we have a family of four that is missing, 2 parents and 2 young children. How do investigators even begin to start searching for this family?
Peeling back the layers starts now. Investigative process. This bit walks us through the detective's playbook as they kick off their hunt by chatting up the outcry witness and leveraging every tech gadget from cameras to phone pings to piece together the family's last known whereabouts. It's like watching a high-stakes treasure hunt, except what they're hunting might just send chills down your spine. Hang tight, because this mystery train is picking up speed.
If they have phones, you're going to try to ping their phones to see what, triangulate a location to see where their phones are. So there's a lot of footwork when it comes to missing persons, especially when you're talking about tender age and a family being missing. So there's a lot of legwork once it starts, when you start talking about a missing person. Now, unless the person, the outcry witness, has compelling reasons to think that there's a problem, it's nothing you would immediately jump on. You'd wait a few hours. Like I said, it's a family of four missing. Maybe they just went somewhere and they're off their phones or whatever.
Just when you think it's a regular family gathering, bam, plot twist. The last known gathering deep into the night of June 12th, the action unfolds at Rory Atwood's abode. The adults were knocking back a few, and tempers flared, cranking up the suspense. This sets the stage for what's possibly the last time the family was seen before vanishing into thin air. Keep your eyes peeled.
We're all at the house together with Rain and Philip's 2 children, who I mentioned, and Rory's daughter, who is a juvenile as well. We're all at the house while the adults were drinking. Philip and her son, Philip Zilliot, and this is around midnight on Thursday, and her son, Philip's mother, and her son, Philip, spoke on the phone. And that was the last time they spoke on the phone. Per Rain's friend, Rain, Philip, and Rory were all drinking alcohol. They started arguing. Before leaving, Rain's friend hears someone say, "This is the last time this happened. You pulled a gun on us," referring to Rory.
Hold on to your popcorn. This next part is a real shocker. Rory's alarming call. In the wee hours, a friend gets a frantic call from Rory around 2 a.m., babbling about shooting someone. This revelation ties Rory directly to some potentially grisly actions, catapulting the story into high gear and sending everyone involved into a tailspin. You won't believe what the investigators dig up next.
This is around 2 o'clock in the morning. Got a call from Rory, who was really upset and said he shot somebody and was frantic. That friend then calls another friend, who calls another friend, and we think possibly a 4th friend. None of the information came to us for another 12 hours. The sheriff's office and any of that information would have been very helpful for the investigation had we received it. We received 3rd and possibly 4th party information that the suspect may have killed somebody.
That 3rd party is going to be pretty important, because I read a couple of clips in it, and they were talking about a telephone call.
Things are about to get even murkier. Investigators search Rory's property. At first, they come up empty, thanks to Rory's sly permission, knowing well that his secrets are still safe. This moment has us all raising our eyebrows at Rory's motives and his uncanny awareness of where the evidence isn't. But wait, just when you think it's a dead end, there's a twist in the tale.
Hey, you guys can search my property if you want to. Investigators go through and search his property, and they don't find anything the first time that they search. I'm also wondering why he would be so willing to let investigators onto his property right away.
I don't know what the scope of the permission was, or the consent. If it's the home and he knows he didn't do anything in the home, now he's making himself looking better. I don't know anything, and as a matter of fact, you can look through my whole house. You're not going to find anything.
You thought that was bizarre. Get a load of this. Second search uncovers crucial evidence. When the investigators come back with a warrant and dig a little deeper, they strike something huge. Human remains in a fire pit. This grim discovery links Rory even more closely to some potentially heinous crimes. Fasten your seatbelts. The ride gets bumpier from here.
They returned for a second search, and this this time find something huge.
He gives us permission to go back onto the property, which we start doing a more extensive search. We had the human remain dogs, bloodhounds, aviation, deputies. Because of the search, we were able to find human remains.
I don't know if it's a sprawling property where the fire pit is not immediately adjacent to the residence. That's the only thing I can think of. It's not immediately adjacent to the residence, or it's not so close where you would include it in just a casual walk.
Just when you think you're getting answers, more questions pop up. The ongoing mystery and charges, even with remains found, the plot categorizes as a missing persons case, since who the heck these remains belong to is anyone's guess. Rory's snagged a murder charge, but with all identities in limbo, the courtroom drama is just warming up. The intrigue is far from over, folks.
You'll see this probably coming up in the weeks to come once the identifications are made, an amended complaint charging with the other murder, I would say.
Pasco County officials say this is technically still a missing persons investigation.
The preliminary investigation has said it's a complex. This is still a missing persons case. Until the final resolution, until the ME comes back, it's still a missing persons case, but we were able to find human remains at the crime scene.
If you thought truth was stranger than fiction, you were right. Rory's confession and defense. Out of the blue, Rory fesses up to offing the adults but plays the blame game with the children's demise, twisting the narrative to possibly lighten his own dark deeds. This confession adds layers of complexity and sends shivers down the spine, making us question his every word. Dive deeper with us as the plot spirals into even darker territories.
About the children, that's the next thing that's almost unbelievable. He killed the parents, but says he didn't kill the children. He actually says that the parents killed their own children. To me, that's a very puzzling statement. What do you make of it?
Is what it is. Again, I've seen this on more than one occasion where someone will admit to a certain thing, but the more heinous part of it, they will not admit to it. Yes, I killed them, I didn't dismember them, or vice versa. When you're doing an interview, you're trying to get a confession from someone, is that you sympathize with them. You understand what they're talking about.
As we near the climax, prepare for an emotional whirlwind, legal implications and potential outcomes. We wrap this segment with chatter about the legal maneuvers and the potential for the death penalty in sunny Florida. Given the grotesque nature of the alleged crimes, this legal battle could set the stage for a landmark showdown. The resolution of this twisted tale might just rattle the core of the community.
Because the alleged crime is so gruesome, and this happened in Florida where the death penalty is still on the table. So do you think if and when this does go to a jury trial that prosecutors would sue the death penalty?
If you can prove multiple murder, if you could prove the burning of the remains, I would settle for nothing less than a death penalty case on this. I would settle for nothing less than the prosecutor. A lot of times you'll see them charged with capital murder. They'll come in with a plea and plead out to life, take death penalty off the table. And that's up to a prosecutor.